Thank you. 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Nice looking Friday morning. And, I've been a fan of John Tesh for a long time, and mostly for the musical things that he's done. And last time he was on the show with us was my first time really feeling like I had a chat with him. I believe last time was the second time we chatted, but I think two interviews ago, it was a very, very brief one. We just kind of cut to the chase and went on to something else. But last time we kind of had a really nice time together. So I'm looking forward to, again, having a conversation with John Tesh. I believe he gets up early. I think he's out on the West Coast. And just for those who can't imagine how you don't know who he is, but John is a 4-time Emmy Award winner. He's a 2-time Grammy nominee. He's an awesome composer. It doesn't say the word awesome here. I put that in there. Plays piano like you wouldn't believe if you've never seen him. He's such an inspiration to me. I had him playing. I had his music playing. Well, actually, I had one of his concerts, the Red Rock concert, playing in this production room. Mm-hmm. And it was loud enough that even Patsy heard it at her desk.
Yeah.
And she got up. She said, "What is that? That's so beautiful." I said, "It's John Tesh. We were preparing for the last show." Many of you know him from Entertainment Tonight, which I always think is beneath him. And he's, of course, the host of the radio show, the show that we have here on WOCA at nights. And he's on the phone again. So he's going to talk about a PBS special in the CD called John Tesh Big Band Live. So I want you to know about that, too, and he'll probably fill us in on that. Good morning, John. How you doing?
I'm on the phone again because I just don't have any other friends. Pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, how you doing? You're in California, right?
I am, yeah. I was back east for a few days, but this is where I hang out with Charlie Sheen and Paris Hilton and all my close friends.
Oh, there you go. Walk the red carpet.
So strings or brass? What's your favorite, strings or brass?
Oh boy, it's tough because I grew up as a brass player, but I think that strings, as far as emotionally, I would say strings.
Oh, really? And
to be more specific, cello. I really love the sound.
You know
of cello.
what? It is my favorite string instrument, cello. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's really the moving. It usually doesn't play, unless you're Yo-Yo Ma. Doesn't really play the lead in the orchestra. It's usually just those moving parts. But if you listen to, let's say, the theme of Game of Thrones on HBO, they use it as a lead instrument. It's beautiful.
Have you ever picked up a cello and tried it out?
Yes, I have. I've picked up pretty much every instrument and tried it out. The string instruments, for me, not so much. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just sort of a baby and like, that hurts my fingers. So, and the piano I was a pretty good math student in school, and the piano is that. It's like it's the same 12 notes all the way up the thing. So it's like, okay, I totally get that. The cello, there's no frets or anything on there. It's like, good luck.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. I know. I don't. We had a cellist in here a couple of weeks ago. She's actually the wife of the local conductor, and
of the orchestra
of our local orchestra here, and she was just outstanding. To be that close to watch somebody produce that beautiful music. Mm-hmm. Harry Chapin had a little story. He used to have his little folk thing he did. And then one day he discovered cellists, and they became an important part of his music.
Well, it's an interesting thing about the cello and women too is that there's nothing more beautiful than a woman playing a cello, because the movement is just so lyrical, and the cello, if you think about it, the cello is really sort of shaped like a woman's body. So when a woman is playing the cello, probably getting a little bit too.
No, I'm with you.
But it's really a beautiful thing to watch.
I think put this together: a woman with a cello and a Coca-Cola. I mean, there's the three shapes we love, right?
There you go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
You just written Coke's new
Coca-Cola
commercial
thing right away, but yeah, no.
Yeah, it's got the bottle. That's what they say. And
I had a can, so it was like, what? Huh? What's that?
Oh, there you go. Okay, you gotta go for the bottle.
So listen, let me tell you what I was doing last night. I recently got a Kindle. Okay, so I like my Kindle. So I signed up for this $25 a year plan, whatever it is, where you get to watch some things for free. So I found an old Lawrence Welk show from like 1958, and it's a Christmas show, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I remember as a kid watching Lawrence Welk with my parents, which wouldn't have been that era, because this was black and white, kind of hard to really make out everybody. And the Lennon sisters were like children. but he had strings. I remember Lawrence Welk having a lot of brass and of course that accordion and a few things, but he really had a lot of strings back in the early days. I wonder why he abandoned them.
Well, what's really funny is that Lawrence Welk has been gone for many, many years, but it's still one of the most popular fundraising shows on PBS.
Is that right?
I guess it's like, well, what the heck, And I think there are probably a lot of younger people who believe that the guy is still alive. But you're right. The real cornerstone was the accordion. That was sort of the coming out of the accordion, and then it went back in.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what an accordion does. Goes out and in. There's a building.
By the way, there's nothing that my parents. I was a piano player, but my parents decided that I should learn the accordion. There's nothing that is more kryptonite to a woman than an accordion strapped to a little kid. There's just like if it wasn't. I used to work at the cheese shop, the Garden City Cheese Shop, when I was in junior high school, and so I had an accordion strapped to me, and I smelled like Tilsiter. So,
no!
So yeah, I was a pretty lonely kid.
Oh no! So I have an idea. Are you ready for my idea?
Yeah.
I was watching the video with Michael Bublé, right? Am I saying his name right, Michael Bublé?
Well, no, in America we say Bublé. But,
Bublé. Michael Bublé. Okay. Well, I like the guy a lot, and there's a young man in the audience, and he wants to sing with him. So he says, "All right, come on up." And the kid is great. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so the audience is really endeared to him because he gave this unknown a shot. He pulled him up on stage. Then there's Katy Perry. She's got this little autistic girl. The autistic girl's beautiful, playing the piano like Beethoven and and singing her heart out, and just you really are endeared to Katy Perry. Josh Groban did the same thing. He pulled a teacher up.
He's amazing.
Just pulled her up out of the audience. Come on, just sing with me, right? Everybody, oh man, isn't he a nice guy for doing it?
But she was great.
So John, I have an idea. I want to sit in the front row, right? Just you say, I want to give an old guy a chance here. I'll be a plant. Just pretend like you don't know me, and just say, let me give this old guy a chance. Would you like to sing with me?
I think it's a great. I think it's a great idea. You know what happens to us is that for some reason people bring comfort dogs to our concerts. Uh-huh. So every now and then we'll have a dog up on stage, and I'll play, and they'll go. The old Christmas dog thing. Jingle bells.
Wow, that was great.
So yeah, maybe we could do old guy with comfort dog. So bring your dog, and I think we would quote unquote. Bring
give my dog. Yeah,
that would endear you to the geriatric population, John,
and everybody who's a dog lover. Yeah, especially an old dog lover. My dog.
By the way, I am the geriatric population. FYI.
Well, wait a minute. We are too.
At the end I was meeting some people at the end of one of our concerts, and I had a T-shirt on. They go, "Oh, you have a tattoo?" And I said, "Yeah, this is my wife's name. Her real name is Conchetta." And it's so she goes, I've always wanted to get a tattoo, but what if you don't like it later in life? And I said, it is later in life. I think I'm going to be fine.
So if you go to the drive-thru at Wendy's, by the way, you pay full price for a coffee.
That's right.
Because they can't tell how old you are. When you go inside, it's much cheaper. They say, "Oh, you get a senior coffee. Let me get you the senior coffee."
I know how your brain works. No, if you're going to the drive-thru at Wendy's, I'm thinking, where is he going now? Wendy's, apparently.
Yeah, they're not a sponsor. John Tesh is our guest. We do the show live, and we have listeners calling in. So you ready to say hi to some of your fans?
Yes.
All right. Good morning. You're on the air with John Tesh.
Good morning, sir. Yes, and if you ever get stuck for arrangements, my friend out on the West Coast, Bob Kernow, runs Sierra Music, and he has a whole stock of arrangements with all of the parts written out. If you ever need arrangements,
there you go,
for your band, and he has the Ralph Carmichael Christmas Carol arrangements. If you're interested in that.
Yeah, that's you know what. Thank you. That's a great contact, but it's also an interesting point where the arrangements back in the day were so incredible, and the stuff that we use on stage now is really an example. Following those is an example of how timeless they are.
So let me ask you something about that. I was watching something with John Williams, and I guess once upon a time everything was scored out, and he knew it in his mind, and now he can kind of test it electronically. Do you do the same thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, we all sort of use. When I say we all, I'm not putting myself in John Williams' category, but there are great software programs that you can use, and you can share them that way. And we do that all the time when we're doing arrangements. But Williams, he's the kind of guy where I don't think he uses, unless you read something, computers. I think he still sits down at the piano and writes it out by hand.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that, but I mean, he tested sometimes on electronic keyboard. That's what they were showing.
Oh, tested. I'm sorry. They said texted. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you enter the notes into a program called Sibelius or into I can't think of the other one, but also Logic Pro. It'll with little fake instruments, it'll play it out. So you can work it out without hiring a bunch of people to do it. Yeah.
So it sort of gives you an idea, and then but it probably doesn't compare to the actual cello or the actual trombone.
No, it's basically.
Oh, it's the MIDI.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
It's the MIDI sound. So is the PBS special live? It says John Tesh Big Band live.
Yeah, we did. We recorded it live, which is it's always fun to be playing with 12 of your closest friends with 15 cameras pointed at you, trying to play piano and sing in tune. It's not my favorite thing to do on a Saturday evening, but it's it's cool to work with PBS. Love them. They have really launched my music career. But it's live and live.
So what scares you more, the fact that there are television cameras rolling, or the fact that you're doing a show?
I don't ever really. I don't even see cameras anymore, just because I've been around them for so long. But it's the jazz piano stuff. I grew up as a classical player, and all this stuff is jazz. So having to relearn that was a big deal for me.
Oh, wow!
A lot of times they don't write out the arrangers won't write out the notes.
Right,
it's just chord symbols. So it's sort of like C minor 7 minus 3 with the symbol for boron, and you're like, what the heck is that?
So you have to improvise, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I love the white keys. are my friends.
Yeah.
And when I write songs, I use them a lot. But jazz music, as I'm sure there's some jazz players listening right now who are laughing, it's really a math quiz, basically getting through that.
It's amazing really to listen to jazz musicians. And again, going back to like a classical musician, usually it's by the book. I mean, there are the notes, and that's what they're going to play. But a jazz musician will often have, it's a C minor,
Yeah.
I'll just do whatever I need to with that, and they were all over the place, right?
Right, and I'm always telling parents who are asking about should I get my kid into should my kid read music, whatever. Back in the day when you said, hey, he only plays by ear, it was really in the pejorative sense. But now that's what they teach in universities: is you really want to develop your ear, because reading music is much easier than having a good ear. So jazz musicians are really the ones you want to hire for anything you want to do.
So musically speaking, is there anything that you wish you had studied more?
I wish I'd learned how to play the guitar, because as I mentioned, it's just it's a puzzle for me, and I can't figure it out. It doesn't make, I don't know. A lot of people can play many different instruments, but when I look at a piano, I can see it. I know what each note sounds like, but you can't take it with you.
You can't take it to a campfire. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're right by the campfire. So yeah, I wish I learned how to play the guitar, and also the Jew's harp. I think the Jew's harp is a if you know what that.
Yeah.
I do know what it is.
Yeah.
But that's easy to play. What you mean? Do you have one?
I don't have one. I was
Do you
going
want
to order
one?
on Amazon.
I'll get you one.
Yeah, if you could send me one, that'd be awesome.
I can send you a Jew's. A jaw harp over here. We're trying to be politically correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Sorry. I'm just getting this. Now we're going to start talking about the Washington Redskins and all that stuff. Oh my God! I've dug myself into another hole. Yes, the jaw harp.
What about the?
I was playing at a church once, and I was telling a story about my mom, my southern cooking mom, and she. I was talking about deviled eggs, and I came off stage, and they said, "Hey, listen, on the next service, could you say stuffed eggs?"
Oh.
I can't have all of this stuff playing in my head.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, the same thing happened with the devil rays. They're now just the rays. The baseball team?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're playing a concert and you're getting so into the song and everything, and you know you have to stay on track, do you ever feel like you want to go off on a tangent and another song is developing and you just can't wait to get done with it and go home and just do something new?
Wow, it's like you're in my head right now. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Well, when you've played a song, a million times, they're about halfway through. Sometimes you do find that you start doing your taxes.
Yeah, right.
but I got 100 on the ADD test, so I have to be really, really careful with that because you can, especially when you're playing Christmas songs or these big band songs, if people are singing along. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason why Sting and Elton John use teleprompters because you don't want to start messing up the lyrics. And if you're playing, if you're somebody like Sting who's playing complicated bass parts and then singing, and the summoner's tail jumped through the window on a left turn on a Friday, that kind of stuff. It's like, what the?
Yeah.
Me, I'm just going, the summer wind came blowing in. So, yeah, you got to really be careful not to let your mind drift.
One of my favorite songs, by the way, the summer wind. So let's talk about your compositions because you are lately focusing on other people's writing, but you yourself are an accomplished composer. Do you have a wish list of people who you would like to see covering your songs?
Yeah, it's a great question. There's a guy, I wrote the NBA basketball theme, which was for some reason became popular, and there was a guy a rapper that used it. I can't think of his name.
Did you like it?
Terrible.
Did you like what he did with it?
You look up rapper.
Oh, you don't like it.
And NBA.
Yeah.
No, it was great. But when he came to us through his agent and said, "Hey, we'd like to sample this and do it," he said, "Yeah, it's fine, but I really don't want to be associated with a total string of F-bombs, if you don't mind." And, so they sent us the first version of it, and it was like, "Hey, what do you think?" And it was like, bam, F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb,
no.
F-bomb, F-bomb, L-bomb. Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What's the L bomb? What word is that? L.
Yeah, never mind.
Do you know Paul Williams, the lyricist composer?
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Okay,
yeah.
I remember him, and I never spoke to him, but I remember reading an interview with him where he, on his wish list, was Simon and Garfunkel. This, of course, was back in that day when they were pretty popular. So I don't know if there was somebody like right now who you'd love to hear. You know who I like a lot as a singer is Sinead O'Connor. I know she's politically rubs people the wrong way sometimes, but gosh, I was going through yesterday. We were doing a commercial here, and the client wanted Silent Night in the background. So there's a million Silent Nights on iTunes. Okay, and then I couldn't use it, Sinead O'Connor's, because it had singing. They wanted instrumental, but I couldn't go. I had to listen to the whole thing. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my songs get played mostly by elevators.
Oh.
So,
no.
No, I want to tell you something. That's the coolest thing in the. People would say, "Oh, it's elevator music," but when you walk into an elevator and you hear a song that the elevator covered, I mean, I did an interview with Henry Mancini once, and I'm sitting in his living room. I did it for Entertainment Tonight, and on the surrounding him on the walls is. On the shelves is all these Oscars,
right.
Everything, and I said, how do you feel about hearing your music on elevators? I sort of took a chance. He probably could have punched me in the face. He said the same thing. He just said it's just an honor to hear what people do with your music.
Well, see, I think when I go to the grocery store and I hear overhead. Like I heard Badfinger not too long ago, or or anybody. I think, well, I must be getting old. If the music I liked is now being played in the grocery stores, it's not necessarily a comment on the music as much as it is my age. I think.
Yeah. I heard. I was at the grocery store and I heard Jethro Tull's Aqualung.
Oh.
I'm like. What?
Oh, that's too funny. Oh, that's too funny.
A person has to have a lot of courage to be in the public eye because your life is scrutinized every day. Sometimes you hear famous people saying they will not tell their kids that they should go into this profession. They try to make them do something else. But do you think that's wrong? Shouldn't you instill in your child to follow their passion?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, both my kids are in the entertainment business. You know, our son Gib is one of the producers on our new TV show, and he's on camera. But he went to school to study theoretical mathematics. My daughter
wow.
is a ballet dancer. The one thing I have to say is I was flying yesterday, and I was wearing a suit, and I usually don't get recognized unless I'm wearing a suit because people remember that from the Entertainment Tonight days. But you know, there were people who wanted to take pictures and stuff, and it was really cool because I was able to, you know. But I'm sitting there, you know, and I'm thinking, gosh. What the whole social media thing, you know, everybody can take a picture from everywhere, and we're all complaining about it. But I almost think of it as an accountability thing, you know, where you have to sort of really behave yourself at all times, otherwise somebody's gonna. I was really concerned about how I was falling asleep. I wanted to make sure my mouth wasn't wide open.
Yeah, right.
You know, but imagine like the Kardashians or somebody who's really famous. You know, I mean, they can't go anywhere.
And the tabloids are ruthless. The tabloids,
yeah.
I mean, the tabloids are so nasty to people. I don't know. I guess that's what we have.
Well, and everybody, you know, everybody on an airplane is taking a photo of those guys and then sending them to the tabloids. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. So tell me, can we just veer from the subject just for a second? And I want to ask you where you were when you heard that John F. Kennedy was shot.
Oh my gosh, I know exactly. Well, we all do. But I was at Stewart Avenue School on Clinton Avenue on Long Island, Garden City. I was 11 years old. I was in 5th grade, and they called us into the auditorium and made the announcement, and they sent us home. And I rode my green Stingray bike with a basket on the front with my lunch because I hadn't had my lunch yet. You know, home by myself, trying to figure out what they had just told me. And then, of course, you get home and everybody in the neighborhood is crying, and you understand the what just happened. But yeah, it was the day that the earth stood still, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how clear that memory is still for you. Okay.
Well, I was just there. I was just there 6 days ago. We were in Dallas. My wife and I and our son. We were there on some business, and we walked that street right on Daily Plaza.
Oh wow!
And we were on the grassy knoll, and there are X's on the road where the shots were
really?
where they landed. And it is an eerie thing to be there.
Wow! Well, did you go to the book depository? Whatever they call it?
We didn't go upstairs, but we were standing right right underneath the window, and there, the street is just filled with people, especially now with people, walking around. But it was, gosh, such a sad day, and it continues to be that for everyone.
Yeah, it really does. So, John,
you know what it was? It was to quote Don Henley, it was really the end of the innocence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think
wow.
you're right. I think you're right, yeah.
Very insightful of you.
Is that what that song's about? No. Is that what his song's about?
I do. It's about jaw harps.
Well, Larry's going to send you one.
For those of you who have been following the interview, yes.
Have you ever played a melodica? You know that mouth keyboard?
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem with smaller instruments is that they look really small on me because I'm a monster. I'm 220, 6'6", so anything that's that small looks like, oh, he's playing a toothpick.
John Tesh, Big Band Live. When can we see that?
It should be. I was going to say it should be in stores, but there aren't any stores. Check out iTunes. Yeah, it's there now.
Oh, it's on iTunes.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so I can download it.
You can if you can figure iTunes out. Yeah.
Oh, I got iTunes. Wait a minute.
You got to pay for it too.
I know. I got your the Red Rocks one. That's what I got
right.
last time you were on.
That's right.
In this country, we say Red Rocks, not Red Rocks.
It's hard to differentiate.
That's right.
I'm not sure.
I'm sort of like your younger brother, who's just a pain in the butt.
I didn't know you were a Long Island kid, though. I didn't know that till just now.
I am, and I worked for so many years trying to get rid of my Long Island accent, only because the unless you're working in New York City, the television world, and I was in North Carolina, I was on the radio, and they don't want to. okay, celebrating a birthday today, or what?
Yeah. Do you ever slip back into it? Do you ever slip back into
Oh
it?
yeah. Oh, but yeah, my wife's from the Bronx too, so we're all over that. Say, hey, did you take the dog out?
Sounds like Stallone.
The girls on Long Island are hysterical because it's like on Sadie Hawkins Day. It's like, hey, Tesh, you gonna ask me out or what? It really is. Just think Happy Days, and you've got Long Island.
Oh, there you go.
Happy Days was Wisconsin, wasn't it?
That's right.
Always fun to talk to you, John. I feel like we've gotten to know you. I have a promise to send you a jaw harp, and I'll address it as a Jew harp just for you.
That's right.
And thank you so much for being on the air with us. And your show is one of my favorite parts of the broadcast day here on WOCA, even though it's way after my bedtime. But I hear it now and then. I hear it on weekends.
Yeah.
Right? On like Friday nights, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that when I hear it? Friday nights? I don't know when I hear
Yes.
it. I hear it sometimes.
I appreciate it. It's fun talking to you guys.
Hey, thank you, John. Do you want to give your website is what? Just your name? Tesh.com?
Yeah, Tesh.com, yeah.
All right. What do you got to run?
Me?
Yeah. Sounds like you're in a hurry.
No, I do.
No, I'm teasing.
I've been talking to you forever. I have nothing else to do.
Got nothing else to do. What's the matter with you? I'm going to remember the Sadie Hawkins line. Hey, Tesh, you going to ask me out or what?
You going to ask me out or what?
John, thank you so much for being on the air with us. Always fun.
Thank you, guys.
All right. I'm going to go download John Tesh Big Band Live after I'm off the air.
There you go.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they